Thank you, Matthew. So let's go. O2 Czechia. So I will firstly start with a brief introduction of who we are, what we are doing as a company, so that you have a context, and then we'll do a general story of our cloud journey, and then hand over to the guys that will provide you with more details that are like more relevant to what we are discussing here about the business or data analytics and artificial intelligence. So you may know where Czechia is. This is the small country in the center of Europe. You probably know what is Prague, which is our capital city, and you surely know what is Pilsner type beer, which originated some 500 years ago as a technology of making the lager of the Pilsner type in the city of Pilsen, which is also like Czechia. In this country, in this small country, we are running O2 Czechia as the leading communication services provider. Brief introduction. So we are converged operator offering both mobile services, fixed data, fixed internet, and digital TV for all the customer segments, from the retail B2C customers through B2B to government customers. Including managed services from the simple stuff like consumer managed security through managed firewalls and anti-DDoS solutions, through complex managed SOC solutions, and also we are providing a simple cloud, managed cloud solution to our corporate customers, and solution for interconnecting branches with the headquarters like WAN or SD-WAN as well. We are a member of PPF Group, which is the biggest private equity group within the Central Europe. And we are perceived as an innovative company, as in the actual innovation leader on the market, with lots of like first places and wins through the years. So this is very briefly. So we are a communication provider, and now let's go to the cloud journey. So I will do the brief introduction. This is not just about data analytics. This is in general of how we cloudify IT workloads or IT in general. We started some 5 years ago, and the reasons were like three listed here on the slide. So first one is more like cloud is one of the components in digitization. So this sounds obvious, but in a sense, it means that we need to have new IT architecture, meaning like the stuff of 3 layers with the microservices in the middle to keep the business logic. And this is usually the stuff that runs on cloud, on like Kubernetes, to be able to be like fast deployed and iterated, which leads to the third component, which is agile way of work. And you must have all of those 3 together, otherwise we are not like able to be fast enough and to keep this like innovative, iterative way of working with the strong customer feedback in each of the iterations. So this is one part, one reason why we started with the cloud to support this digital journey. Second one was cloud as such. Enables the agile development with the CI/CD pipelines, with the tooling that all the hyperscaler providers are offering as part of their solutions, as part of their portfolios, and also like fastest way of adopting new technologies. You know, all of you, I believe that you can play quite freely with all the stuff, with all the platforms and SaaS services in the cloud that can be deployed like within minutes or hours, compared to the traditional way on-prem. So this is also, and the flexibility of scaling up, scaling down is also the reason. And the last reason was like cost benefits, which is like leading to the like basic framework that we used to decide which workloads we are putting to cloud. For existing workloads, we are using a very simple rule, which is when we are calculating what the workload should cost on cloud, on the run rate costs. So the first formula is that it must go like minus 30% or more, and if you are able to save 30% at least on cost, so let's go to cloud. And the second condition is that if the modernization is needed there, because sometimes there is some low-hanging fruits like the applications that were like recently made and are ready to lift and shift to cloud, but with the legacy stuff is not that easy. You must invest some effort to modernize the application to, let's say, split the monoliths to the pieces to the microservices. So then we require the modernization to pay back within 3 years. So 30% down on cost and less than 3 years payback on whatever initial investment is needed there. And for all the new stuff, we basically go by default to cloud. And there in the box you can see what we already have. So in the first place is we started with big data platform and EDW to lift and shift to the cloud, and the guys will talk about this, how this is like helping us with getting basically with the same cost or with the same level of investments, much better performance, and what are the stuff that is enabled by being, especially with data lake, with big data platform in cloud. And then a set of the other like domains or workloads that you can see here. So basically this is like the customer-facing stuff that is really advantageous to be operated on the cloud. Within the context of like Czech companies, either operators or banks, insurance companies, and the others like financial institutions, utilities, we are perceived as like the first mover to the cloud, and to some extent we are really accepting the trend on the market with this. And last from me is after the 5 years, what we really see as the benefits and how this has actually worked for us. So first one is that we can confirm that we really like saved on the run rate cost 30 to 40%. So this part is working like cost-wise. So the financial team is happy seeing this. Then strong internal knowledge that we created Center of Excellence for cloud operation, and this is like enabling fast adoption through the company. So the guys in the Center of Excellence are helping, the other teams are helping the agile teams to adopt the cloud, to be able to build the CI/CD pipelines for their workloads, for their applications. And this is like accelerating cloudification through the company. Also, like software development run in this agile way, supported by CI/CD, is something that accelerated business agility in the company, and for us this was also enabler for like running, and we are now transforming to SAFe as a methodology that scales agile from the individual Scrum teams to the entire like corporation level. So this also helped, and this was something like on top of the original expectations, and of course faster go-to-market and better digital customer journeys that are basically dependent on the iterative way of working and frequent validation with the customers that can be delivered this way. So this was like in general how we went to cloud and what are the reasons and how we see the benefits. And now I will hand over to Richard, who will present you the story of how we moved like Teradata EDW platform to cloud, what are the benefits, and what we are planning to do next with it. So thank you, and Richard is yours.
Thanks. So thanks, Jan, to overview of our general IT strategy. And as we are in Teradata conference, my part is more about how it influences our decisions in terms of Teradata part, data warehouse. This is my area. Let's go back to 2021, 3 years ago. We are in the situation that we had our data warehouse on our data centers. It was on-premises Vantage 1.1, if I remember well. We had the latest software of Teradata 1620. We were pretty happy with the solution. And on top of this technology, let's say, we had well consolidated data warehouse. We spent like 3-4 years with consolidation of whole IT systems. And we used that opportunity to, as all the systems, source systems for our data analytics changed, we used that opportunity to also consolidate our solution and modernize it from scratch. So we invested a lot of effort that time, and in this year we really had nice solution, had happy internal customers, and pretty robust solution on robust technology. I'd like to mention also strategy. Jan already mentioned how we look at the future for the cloud-first strategy. If I remember well, Teradata defined its cloud-first strategy in the year 2020. So our strategies were pretty aligned. There was also mentioned, I didn't say that, but the thing was that, yeah, if you have some appliance in on-prem, there is always that life cycle part of that, yeah? Every 4, 5, 6 years, you are about to do something, invest to new hardware. And we were in the situation that we were about end of support, so it was the trigger for us that time to solve it somehow. So we defined 3 ways how to cope with that. First one, which is pretty obvious, is like do nothing. It's not do nothing, but you negotiate new size of the platform, you put to your data center, new appliance, migrate the data, and continue with the solution as it was before. So for me, it was like some basic thing we can always do, and the rest of the scenarios I compared to this. The second was obviously to migrate to cloud. That time we also had Azure like partner we already used for some other use cases. So for us it was Teradata on Azure. And the third, this is pretty tricky. We are on Teradata conference, but I always think that whenever you do some longer investment for some longer period, it's always good to take into account all the possibilities you can continue. So you are aware that there are other technologies like cloud-native platforms which are definitely really good. So we also ask ourselves whether it makes sense to start to migrate to something else. All these scenarios are really different, right? First one is like do nothing, very easy, but there is no gain. You don't get any new functionalities. Second one, like evolutionary. Okay, you take and I mentioned that we had pretty good solution on top of the Teradata, so it didn't make sense to remove it and start from scratch to re-implement to something else. And the revolution, I call it revolution. It means to migrate to completely new technology. From my perspective, revolution is really costly. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time. Here in the room are, I'm sure, some professionals from this area, and you implemented warehouses. Maybe you somehow consolidated them, start on greenfield, and you are aware that it takes time, 2-3 years, without any problem. You spend building these solutions. So from my perspective, you must really have very strong reason to do that revolutionary way. Yeah? And that time, we did our homework, checked all the resources like Gartner's. I consulted my peers from other companies and really do the research whether it makes sense or not. At that time, I found that Teradata was still best of breed, and altogether with our solution, it makes sense to reuse it and put it to the cloud. So yeah, we are here with the story to migrate, how we migrate Teradata to the cloud. So that was our solution, how to continue to the future. Just very quickly, this is our data warehouse in some numbers. Just imagine the complexity of it. Yeah, I'm sure we are here in the US, so we have much bigger data warehouses. I know that because I'm in contact with Teradata guys. I was part of some masterminds here, so I discussed with really huge customers. Our environment is not big, but it's pretty complex. It's real data warehouse. It's not any data mart or something. You know, it's not about terabyte. The complexity you can measure by the variability of data sources you process, how much data and how much operations and transformations and layers you have in your warehouse. So it was like something pretty complex. We also leverage technologies like real-time, Kafka, Oracle Golden Gate for ingesting data real-time and do calculations like, you know, during like intraday reports and stuff like that. So from this perspective, it was complex, but as I mentioned, it was pretty well consolidated. So we are self-confident to take this solution and move it to the cloud without some huge reimplementation, you know, stuff like that. We didn't use any ETL tools. We got rid of them during that consolidation part. So maybe this could be somehow valuable for some of you who are planning to do it or evaluating this possibility. For us, yeah, there was some preparation phases like contract negotiation, for example, right? There were something, we prepare something in architecture. But from the D1, when we started that Azure stack, when Teradata provisioned the system, we had 2 months for testing all the functionality and migrate the production data and productionalize it. That was the plan, and that was the reality. We really were able to do it in time. This is just a few numbers about data migration itself. We used, I think Teradata call it DTU. That's a service for migration of data through the network. So we used something like we scale the throughput. We use 10 VPN tunnels and migrate more than 50 terabytes of data in 1 day. I think it was 25 hours from Prague to Netherlands. Yeah, from our data center to Amsterdam. This is an important number because it means outage also of your source system, of course, because there is heavy reading, and of course writing to your cloud system. Effects of the migration from first moment after that weekend was performance. Maybe there are some of you who are familiar with Teradata Teradata controlling, how is it called? It's viewpoint, sorry for that. And this heat map, is included there. Each square means CPU and usage of platform. Like to the right, you can see hours, and down it's days of months. And you could see that after the migration, our system started to really behave like it should behave. Yeah, it influenced a lot our consumers, internal customers, data analysts, and all of these people. Their user experience grows a lot. It also have influence on data availability. On the right, you could see data latency. These are average hour when the data are ready for our business. So 8 in the morning since we migrate to the cloud. Yeah, you can buy performance. When you buy bigger platform, of course, it has better performance. But as Jan mentioned, we did that and with the same cost as we had on the on-premise. So that's the magic, that's the trick, because you don't want to grow too much, right? So this is thanks to ePod. I don't want to go to detail, but simply it means that you have some fixed T-cores you use, and on top of that, the rest one you just pay as you consume them. And data warehouses, even though we are trying to somehow cope with the peaks, they are still there during the business hours, especially. It's very heavily used, and it's cool to have really possible to grow. Besides these performance benefits, we started to leverage new functionalities. Almost from the day one, we integrated through blob storage the native way from the Teradata. Before that, we used ODBC drivers to connect with the big data team, but this brings us the possibility to be much more efficient. It's 100 times faster read from Teradata to object store, which is pretty cool. And ClearScape Analytics. We started to use this with our business teams, data analysts who were used to use Teradata heavily, but like the SQL way. So this is for them possibility to somehow grow and leverage some new ways how to analyze data. That picture, anyway, is from Teradata session. It was Innovation Day. It's 2 days hands-on workshop with our business analysts, where we took some use cases and implemented them on ClearScape Analytics. And very quickly, what's in my mind now? We have nice solution on top of Teradata system. We are happy about them. We are trying to show people how to use advanced analytics, which is embedded in the core system. Okay, and now, because we removed all the silos and everything, we can somehow invest to data governance, right? This is a very old topic, but first thing first, we did a lot with technology, and now I can see that we have to somehow support sharing the data products we have. We have loads of data, not only in that official part of Teradata governed by us, my team, but also in some sandboxes, reports, and all of that. And currently, and everywhere you can hear about LLMs and its power. We built, and Peter will talk about that later more in detail. We built, I call it Data Buddy, and we feed it with all the documentation, data model, report, all the reports we have. We also negotiate with our business that they will document somehow their data products in sandboxes. And you can put everything together. It can be in different sources also, and you will just embed it to LLM, and you can talk with that. For me, I'm excited about that, because when you talk with LLM, it's cool. But if you talk with that about topic you know, and you have the guy, and he knows everything you know, it's really, really impressive. So that's what I like these days. But it's a nice bridge to Peter's agenda. So stage is yours. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so I still have some time. It's okay. My part, because Honza was started with the idea why and how we moved to the cloud. Yeah, Richard took the opportunity to say what was the migration all about and so on. And now my part is more about that me and my department is basically dealing with the data there, and we are building something around the data, about basically everything around big data processing and things like applied artificial intelligence algorithms around the data. So build some products around the data. So this is our 4 pillars. Probably it is not necessary to go somehow deeply, but you can see that we are building projects around the telco data, and we are leveraging the things around the customer lifecycle, around the targeted marketing, around the mobility of the population, around the overlap to the fintech part, and also something around the media, like how to personalize the content, how to understand the content, how to work with the recommenders, and so on and so on. There are plenty of cases. But just to understand where we are regarding the data. Yeah? So these are 3 main sources of data that we are processing. We have something like more than 1 terabyte of compressed data daily. And this mixture of the data are on one side from the mobile network. In the middle, we are also working like a fixed internet provider. And the third part is O2 television. It is the streaming service that we are also providing for our customers. And if we are talking about the data, we can be a little bit more specific. So you can imagine that we, as the biggest telco operator in our country, we have data more connected to the geolocation. Like I don't know, what is your home place? What is your workplace? What is your frequent places that you are going there, and so on and so on. We are also able to leverage some data, not the specific one, not the customer really connected one, but some more compressed point of view on the data, like what percentage of our customers are interested in some area, for example. We also are leveraging some things around the calls and SMS. It is definitely not the content of the messages. Yeah, this is not allowed. But you can use some metadata around the messaging and calling. There are some demographics. There are definitely some information about activated services, about what kind of devices you are using, and so on. And definitely there is some history of purchases, so things like your monthly spend, payment morale, and so on and so on. So there are many of them. So this is just, I'm just sharing that you can imagine what kind of data we have and what could be the cases that we can develop with. I was curious how to basically say how the cloud environment is really important for us, like for artificial intelligence center. And I take an approach that I will show just one example from our portfolio to show how cloud environment enable us to basically build it up. So probably like all the telco operators have the things like, I don't know, voice bot, chat bot, or their own application for their own clients. Yeah, so this is quite usual. Basically, all the operators are trying to build and grow the digital channel for serving the customer. And we have something what we named Eva, and Eva is our assistant and now is currently taking and serving more than 3 million queries every year. So once you would like to serve the client, the important part is be able to react quickly and give them the right answer or help them with the right approach to take. So on the left side, there is something what we had previously before this project. So this is something like our knowledge base, and there is a quite normal search that you are basically searching what you would like to get, and you are basically getting just, I don't know, 21 of results, and you need to go through it and understand where is the right answer to help our client. We moved to this one. Yeah, we built O2 Buddy or virtual buddy, and now you can ask basically whatever you want from our knowledge base, and you are getting one summarized result, which is really facing which is stated basically directly, like that you can basically easily read to the client. Yeah, so it is like I don't know, it is more like a artificial agent which is trying to get what you would like to have, find the right answer, and also give you the steps you should follow to help you with the issue that you are trying to ask for. So virtual buddy and its evolution, there are also several steps. Yeah. So we start with the smart search. The second step is be able to integrate this kind of knowledge base supported by the artificial intelligence directly to the serving of a client. So imagine that you have a client on your phone. So Buddy is able and will be able to understand what is happening in real time within the conversation, and will be helping to pick the right approach to take for our agent. And the third part where we are heading is definitely to have something like a fully automated, or we are named full-fledged virtual agent. Yeah. So the first part we already have. Now we are dealing with 2 and 3, and with these 2 and 3 versions, we have the first steps, which are already able to face directly to the client. And now back to the question why we are using cloud and why cloud environment is really important for us. So specifically for this project, yeah. So this is something like a really high-level architecture of our virtual buddy. So if we will be starting with the query, so you are easily taking the voice to text service from the cloud, because you need to transfer the query of the client directly to the text. So this is already in the cloud, so we are just calling the service. You need to do some user management, yeah, to be able to provide the right answer or right level of answer, right level of information. And cloud is already fully integrated to some user management, yeah, so it is already there. You need to deal with serious, huge amount of documents, but with different kind of documents. Yeah? So we are leveraging that we have a data lake, and we basically put everything there, including the scraping the documents and so on and so on. And also cloud enables us to do that quite easily. Knowledge base you need to go somehow in there, and you need to do some searching. So here we are leveraging, it is probably not important, but here concretely we are calling some Azure AI services for doing the search. So it is already there, and you can just pick it like a thing from the toolbox. Yeah? In load balancing part, it is really important to be able to basically get the latest large language models, and the different version of models are in the different kind of version of providers. Yeah? So load balancing for us is also to be able to go somehow in a multi-cloud environment and use the latest one or the most performing one model, and et cetera, et cetera. And large language models itself, imagine that, I don't know, more than a year ago, it was not, because we started with these projects 1.5 years ago, and it was not possible to get anyhow large language models on your local infrastructure. So cloud was, for this specific case, really enable to be able to basically get this kind of responses from the foundations model. And now we are still operating within the cloud because we are getting the benefit that, I don't know, for example, OpenAI is releasing the latest model, and we are just taking it, and we are shifting the performance of the solution on different level with the new models. So if I should somehow close it up, so if I need to take at least 2 or 3 of key aspects which are really important for us, we can name, I don't know, for example, GPU. Yeah? So these kind of things are really easy to take from the cloud itself. You don't need to build it on your own in your server rooms, and they are available there. Yeah? And they are not just only available, but they are really interconnected to the large language models which you can use. Definitely the thing between the benefits, it is not just the security, cost effectivity, flexibility, but the time, delivery time for the solution. For example, we were able to build from basically zero to working proof of concept within the weeks. Yeah, so it was super quick. It was like just take what is already there, put it together, and see if it's working. So we were able to start really quickly, and now we are providing these services of virtual body to more than 1,600 agents in a parallel. Yeah, and it wasn't be possible without cloud, because you need to have a really high way for calling the large language models in this case. Yeah, so there is always, and again, the cloud itself. So, just to be honest and to share that we don't have everything yet. So these are the big topics that we are now facing, and we are now discussing together with Honza and Richard. So definitely this strategic approach to how to get all the important data within the company. Yeah, how to proceed with this. We are talking about the data governance, data observability. Because also in the European Union, some special regulation is coming. Yeah, so you need to have some clean table around these topics. And if I should say at the end really one thing which is really important for us, it is the last part of this slide. Yeah, so this platform that enables you to basically somehow manage everything from the different cloud providers in one place, because then you can leverage from all of the benefits in your projects. So this is it. This is everything from my side. Thank you very much. Should we stay? Yeah.
All right, we'll get all of our presenters back up on the stage, and we've got a few minutes left for Q&A. Anyone have a question, we can bring a mic to you.
Yeah, great session, really great insights on your journey from on-prem to Azure. Now that you are on Azure, what do you see as some of the challenges in operationalizing, improving, and I'm particularly looking at it from a platform perspective?
Yeah, that's a question. That's a question for me. Thank you for this question. There is a difference to the world when we had appliances on our data centers, and I discussed that yesterday with other guys here. That time in the past, I had one guy I can call whenever I need to, and he solved all my problems. Teradata for me was box, and where I could rely on it, and they did everything for me, and I didn't need to like manage some tickets, something, you know, and recognize whether it's platform-based or what's that. Everything was done. And it's different now in cloud. Yeah, it's on cloud environment, so there is one layer of responsibility. So I think for Teradata, it's pretty more complex now, because there are some frictions maybe behind, because it's pretty complex thing. There must be huge performance on this. So there are some really special networking done and stuff like that. And yeah, we faced some problems during these 2 years. We already use it, year and a half. Everything was solved in the end, but you know, maybe that it's always about the situation is not bad, but the referencing point was brilliant in the past. Now it's like, okay, yeah, I can live with that. It takes me some effort to run the tickets and make everything like running, but as I mentioned, this is the matter what you compare it to. So, but I think like the level when the system is up, it's still 9999, something like that. Don't take me wrong, it doesn't like fall down or something. It's still high available. But when you discuss some special things, tickets, you know, performance, there are some discussions and some effort connected with that. But yeah, it's also cool, yeah? Somehow you see that it's pretty complex. So when you see it, you also appreciate that effort and appreciate that maturity it had before. So somehow connected.
Hey there. I had a quick question. I was excited on your last slide to see you had cloud AI in the future. And I was recently attending another conference in healthcare where they were also talking about AI and said that to consider AI without data governance is almost probably, you know, perilous, perhaps, because you have to have that trusted data. So I'm curious, are you using any data models? You must be, I'm guessing, now. And have you used any of the Teradata data models in the work? You probably are, but I was just curious about that. And then the last question was looking at lineage, just to mention there's a new data DNA solution available, which I didn't know if you knew about from Teradata. So just curious about your governance models, if you're just starting or where you are in the process.
Okay. Data lineage, data governance, and stuff like that. It's pretty big topics, right? Frankly, we started with some POCs with some technology we'd like to take into account during some decision in the future how we will implement it. We now are facing, because as we are in Azure, there is there is Purview. It's, you know, SAS service on Azure. So we are testing this one, except that we have some Atacama. I don't know if you are aware. It's pretty big, with footprint also in North America. So simply, we have three technologies we'd like to use or choose from in the future for some more robust data, data governance project. But at the same time, we already started, because as I mentioned, now we implemented the data body, which is like enabler to use it really the efficient way, documentation. You know, in my career, I have seen many different catalog, robust ones, huge investments on data governance. But who used that in the future or in the end? Did really business, did they homework and analyze all there? Or he just came to next table to his colleague and asked him, or where can I find the data? So I think now it's the huge game changer is that you have that technology and you can talk to that documentation, because the documentation could be heavy. It's pretty big. We have now, we started and we have thousands of pages, like in first like POC, you can talk to. Nobody would read it. Nobody would search some Confluence pages these days. So we started with this documentation, and as a parallel, we are leveraging technology for data modeling, you know, data quality stuff. Did I answer the question?
You did. Even though I have no business because I'm based in the U.S., I would like to stay close to you because I actually work here at Teradata, but I've worked with my client is in healthcare, Banner Health, and we did the 2-week POC as well.
Okay.
And we did it for pharmacy data, just pretend it's financial data or manufacturing data. And we were able to hook it up to some of their BI tools, our data models. And it really was helpful that we were able to enable IT to not have to run around after the request was made about the pharmacy data for a week to get an answer back to the business. When we were able to connect it with a BI tool, then the business had democratized data. They could press a button and boom. Yeah. And I want you to know about this. So I guess I don't know anything about your specific needs, but modeling is modeling, data is data, and I would love to. I remember my customer last year or 2 years ago was presenting the migration to the cloud, and then we did all this interesting work, and I want you to know it so that we cannot reinvent the wheel. So I say, also talk to Peer Advantage, because that would save you a lot of heartache, maybe,
Cool. Thanks.